Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Thank you for your patience with me this last week. I haven't been able to sit down and do much filming as I've had a lot on the go behind the scenes and have been working on a lot of the private personal readings that I just started accepting. So thank you to those who have ordered readings with me. And today we're going to be doing a collective reading instead of a pick a card. Just felt intuitively better for me to do it this way at this time. And we're just going to see what messages want to come through. So there's no topic today for this reading. We're just going to kind of go in blind, and I'm going to set the intention that this reading reaches whoever it's meant to reach at exactly the right time and space to receive the messages that are meant to come through. Okay, we have the King of Cups starting us off. So I'm hearing the word love. Yeah, okay, the King of Cups does talk about, or can talk about, deep emotional connection, romance, love. I'm also hearing the word resonance. So there's some possibly resonance with the frequency of love. I'm hearing non-gender specific. Technically, the King of Cups is masculine, but I'm hearing non-gender specific. So I think there's non-dualistic love. The energy we're talking about here is non-dualistic love. The Chariot. Okay. There's definitely a progression, advancement. And I'm hearing the word resonance again. So this feels like an expansion of energy, an expansion of love within the self, and how this is creating progress forward. After some kind of conflict, the Five of Wands, I did just hear conquer and conqueror. It's almost giving me Emperor energy. And the Chariot and the Five of Wands here feels like you're overcoming something. So if you were drawn to this message, it feels like through the energy of love or through the energy of resonance with this higher frequency of self, the state of being, it's helping you to overcome some kind of a challenge or an obstacle that you were facing through the energy of persistence, through the energy of fluidity. And it feels like those two might be opposite, but they're not. In the way that I'm being shown it and the way that I'm feeling it, it's almost like those are two sides of the same coin. So you can be persistent towards something because you're being fluidly sort of pushed in that direction or rushed in that direction. That doesn't mean that you need to be rushed. It's just this energy of like, the water's going to flow persistently into the areas where the cracks are, because that's what they're showing me. They're showing me like a dam, and the water is going to just automatically flow into those areas where there is a space for it to flow. So I think this is the progress and the momentum, is that there's something that's being, I am hearing the word or the words weeded out. There's something that's being weeded out by being able to see where the energy is moving. I'm hearing duality. Okay, and they did say non-gender specific. So this could be to do with yin and yang, that duality. It's like it's not one or the other, it's both, maybe harmonizing those two, or the light and dark. Usually in the Chariot card, it's a light sphinx and a dark sphinx. Being able to balance those two things out. I saw 333 on the recording time just there as well. King of Wands. Okay, so two kings. Competition. There's some kind of competition here for sure. And I don't know if this is a battle for your attention or if this is a competition within yourself that you're having to weigh the sides of. It's almost like pros and cons, or the different directions that energy is flowing. They keep showing me that, like the water flowing through those cracks. It's finding those cracks. And maybe there's one crack that's competing with the other. And it's like, how much energy am I willing to invest in this one thing or this other thing? Maybe it's people. Take it as it resonates. Four of Cups. I feel like contemplation will be your best friend here. If this message is for you, it's going to be about getting very clear on where the water or where the energy is flowing in that way. The emotions, in this case, is what we're talking about metaphorically. Water and energy in this example is referencing emotion. So where is your emotion leading you? And then what physical actions are you taking or investing into that? 444. Okay, we got the threes, we got the fours, synchronicities showing up, angel number patterns, codes. that you're unlocking here. And this Four of Cups kind of is telling me again about balance, the two palm trees on either side, the way that she's sitting in the middle in this contemplative pose. It's showing me that you're meant to be in this state of introspection so you can see the disparity between these two polarities, between these two frequencies, or even like these two states of being. This card kind of stuck to my finger. The Three of Cups. If this is a love message, I could interpret this as a third-party situation in the sense that maybe you have two options available to you and you are the third person. These could be two people, right? Two kings here. And they did say non-gender specific, so these could be women as well. But it's kind of like there's competition in some way. And they want this to be addressed, like Spirit is bringing this message through because it's important to address this energy and I'm hearing where it's stemming from, like where it's stemming from within yourself. Because when you balance that out, then the outside conflict or the outside drama or the outside expenditure or leakages of energy won't be so draining, or they won't be so conflicting. The Empress, the divine feminine. I feel like being able to move freely is going to be helpful here as well. I don't know why I'm getting movement from the Empress, because normally she's not moving, but I'm feeling the movement here, and I'm feeling her being able to be fluid in the flow. So I think this is what Spirit is recommending, especially as it relates to prosperity. I'm getting that message coming in too. So if this isn't romantic love, then this is prosperity and how you're moving forward with projects, hobbies, personal areas of interest, career, jobs, things like that, and how you're able to balance or harmonize what feels good for you and what you maybe need to do, what you're passionate about and what you're not passionate about. It's like there's these dualities. They keep showing me these opposites that are needing to be balanced, integrated, and understood. The Ten of Wands. To prevent some kind of a burden, to take the load off of you so that you're not carrying this heaviness that throws things off balance, that throws these dualities out of proportion. So the Ten of Wands here is like, it doesn't have to be so hard. You don't have to take this, I'm hearing load bearing. Literally, it's like this person is bearing the load. But it's kind of like their architecture, right? There needs to be a load bearing beam. Otherwise, everything else collapses. And maybe the load bearing needs to be done in a way that is more balanced. Yeah, they're telling me equilibrium. There needs to be equilibrium. Because if you put all of the load of a structure onto something that's imbalanced, or it's unstable, or it's crooked in some way, it's not going to bear that load as efficiently. And they're showing me a lot to do with the fruits here in the Empress card. Like she's holding a pomegranate, a banana, and she's got a pineapple thing on her head. So it feels like fruits of your labors are coming or will come as a result of this balancing. I heard balancing act. This balancing act that you're doing, being able to harmonize these two opposing things. Princess of Wands. And learning how to do it. Learning how to balance. Like she's even in that balanced pose. So I feel like learning how to do this is helping you to overcome some kind of internal conflict and possibly external drama as a result of that, or being pulled in too many directions. Having your energy siphoned, I just heard. Having your energy siphoned by the heaviness of this load is what it looks like, or by the situation, or by the competition. Whatever it is, the energy is better served in other areas, specifically in regard to you tuning into what feels good for you, taking off some of that heaviness. That's what it feels like. That's what's being recommended here for sure. The High Priestess. I was going to say, I was getting introspection from the Four of Cups, and I feel like this is what's going to help to remedy this situation or this circumstance is being able to connect to what you feel, being able to connect to what you need, being able to move on. I just heard move on from what? Tense situation, they said. Tense situation. That was, they keep saying siphoning your energy. I'm also hearing something about holding back or being held back. 10 of Wands here. Yeah, that can be an energy that holds you back because you can't move as quickly with the 10 of Wands. And I was getting movement from the Chariot and the Empress. So there needs to be fluidity. There needs to be movement or progression. But it's hard to do that when you're carrying this heavy burden or your energy is being siphoned in these two directions. Wow, 10 of Cups. Okay. Ultimately, the goal here is for personal satisfaction and happiness, especially as that relates to being in connection to other people. But there needs to be a balance in how you're going about this, is what it feels like. And how you're going about it. Oh, Knight of Wands. How you're going about it may be from an unstable base. 1111 on the recording. So many number synchronicities in this reading. And then the 3 of Swords is on the bottom. So this could have to do with love. Yes, it definitely could, because there could be or have been third-party situations where you were having to choose between two people, or two people were choosing between you, or someone was putting you in that third position, and that put stress. It could even be work or career, like having two passions that you want to pursue, or having two offers that kind of oppose each other in this way. The pursuit of passion is one thing here with the Knight of Wands, but I think the most important thing in this energy is to focus on creating the balance within the self, which means getting very clear on what is actually going to move you forward, what is conducive to that. I do want to get some oracle cards as well, so I'm just going to set that deck to the side. I was called to the dragon deck today for the oracles, and there's a fairy deck as well. So the dragons and the fairies could be helping in regard to this situation, whatever it is. Fire dragon, wow. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. See, I feel like the determined energy is kind of what I was talking about before with that persistence. And then the inspired energy is the flow. So yeah, it's through this combination of those two aspects that your soul pathway becomes clear and you're able to move forward. The fire energy is strong here. You got King of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Princess of Wands. These are all fire elements, and the fire dragon. So there's a lot to do with fire here, and fire rules the spirit. It rules inspiration and passion. Kitty is for confirmation. Don't know if you can hear her. She's meowing at the door. Hi, sweetie. So the fire here is the passion to pursue what feels aligned with you and what helps you to feel abundant and move forward and not feel at odds with yourself or others. Passionate pursuit, I'm hearing. Okay, you have Rainbow Dragon, brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust. Rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities. This may be that you are moving quickly in something and then you have multiple opportunities present themselves to you. Like, let's say you're single and you start harmonizing these energies or discerning intuitively what feels right for you, what it is that you want and desire, what you're passionate about, what you value. And then all of a sudden you start manifesting, you start coming across people who are interested in you or that are viable options. And so you have more than one and you have to choose or decide which one is more aligned with you. Same thing with job opportunities or whatever this happens to be. There's opportunities here very clearly. It's saying to accept the opportunities. But first, I think that it's trusting yourself to connect to what feels right for you so you can overcome any of the resistance. Because the 5 of Wands and 10 of Wands, also both fire energies as well. So there's a lot of fire in this reading. They need to be balanced out so that you will feel very clearly what actually brings you joy, because this is the leap of faith into joy that opens these new doors that lead to the 10 of Cups, which is that happily ever after in whatever area of life we are talking about here or that applies to you. Emerald Dragon brings in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Yeah, I was getting that from the fruits there on the Empress. Fruits of your labors are coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. So I love that the Emerald Dragon is here because it is helping you to tap into this cosmic abundance that's portrayed in the 10 of Cups. And it's helping you to unlock that through this 5th dimensional blueprint. And what's actually going on here, especially since we had look, underneath of the 3 of Swords is the Ace of Swords. Oh, and the Queen of Swords. Oh my God. Okay, so this is getting very clear, and doing some very mental level healing work. Understanding. Okay, so there's different layers to healing, right? Every time I look up at the time in this reading, oh my God, it was 1555. So this is massive change and movement forward through these open doors that are becoming available to you. There's options that you have here. Now, what I was going to say is that there's multiple different layers of healing, right? There's emotional healing. There's new actions that can be very healing and to replace the old patterns. It puts you in a new direction, a new vibration. There's all sorts of different healing. What I'm seeing here that's important is it is to do with the emotions. It is to do with the passion. It is to do with the spirit. But there's a layer of it here in the mind. And so to gain balance in the other areas, the mind has to be involved in this as well. It's literally like mind, body, spirit. In this case, I would look at the King of Cups as the body because it's the emotions, and those are felt primarily in the body. It's not always the case, but that's how it's coming up in this reading. And then the Wands energies, the Knight of Wands and all the others, that's really talking about the spirit and the passion that you have and the drive you have to move forward, to advance. I'm hearing advancement. Advancing in some way, for sure. And then the Queen of Swords here, this is all about the mind and receiving the insights you need to be able to put something into perspective. And that's what helps to remove these swords from the heart and move forward. That's what helps the momentum to be gained. Yeah. Okay, let's get some of the fairy cards as well. What else do those who were drawn to this reading need to know about this? Fairy godmother, revelation, discovery, and epiphany. That's exactly what I was getting from the Ace of Swords and Queen of Swords. It's an epiphany. It's a clarity of mind. It's an insight that maybe you didn't have before. It's a new level of awareness or consciousness that helps, again, put things in perspective so that you can see what you need and by extension, what you need to do. I feel like you're coming out of some kind of a complex web of emotions that was creating inner conflict. And instead of getting stuck in that, you're actually seeing the patterns of the web and being able to move freely outside of it. There is some kind of support, like there's a lot of support here, okay? Not even some kind of support. There's a lot of support here from the non-physical. I did mention the fairies and the dragons, but from spirit in general, there's a fairy godmother here, and it's connected through this psychic realm. So definitely be open, if you can, to insights that come in through patterns, because I was seeing that there in the spider web. It's like there's a clear pattern to it. Being open to see those patterns is what's going to help you unlock this clarity. And it's coming through some kind of a magical means. I don't know what this means. Magical means and what it means. Means to an end, physical means, financial means. Something about the word means is important here. What does it mean to you? And Jesus Christ, you guys, I saw 1911 and then I looked up at my computer, which is sitting just behind me here, and the time is literally on the clock, 3:33. So the recording time and the actual time, both at the angel numbers. So there's a lot of support in the spirit realm. A lot of it. unseelie queen, glamour, opulence, and hubris. Ooh, that's ego. I think that may be where the conflict or I did just hear the word contamination. The conflict or the competition could be a source of contamination for you being involved with people who aren't necessarily on the up and up. I don't know, that energy is coming through. This Three of Cups energy is kind of giving me sketchy vibes, and a little bit here with the Knight of Wands as well. Knight of Wands isn't always a bad energy, but in some cases, in the shadow sense, the Knight of Wands can be flighty and non-committal. It can be an energy that's not very well self-contained. It can be impulsive and even aggressive if in that shadow sense, expressed through that side of the polarity. And I think this is where the fire dragon is helping you to burn up some of these lower energies around you. And it does say around you. So yes, I feel like there's some introspection stuff you're doing on the inside to balance it out, to release some of this burden, to clear out what's been going on. But I think that there's actually people around that may be operating from ego, or that may be operating from this very toxic mindset. And you're able to feel into that and see where your energy is being siphoned, or where your energy is leaking through the cracks within you. Because nobody can siphon your energy from you if you don't have a crack there. It's like the Hoover Dam. They are not going to be able to access your energy, your water. It's only if you have a crack there that they can stand in front of the dam and hold out a bucket and take what's rightfully yours. So this is the whole process of being able to shore up the cracks, because that's going to help the momentum, the movement forward, and leaping through these doors of opportunity that are seriously leading you in a direction of abundance. You know what this is kind of giving me, especially with the fairy godmother here? It's giving me Cinderella vibes. You know how she's like surrounded by these really negative, toxic people, her stepsisters, her stepmother, and she has to choose how she's going to work with that energy. She has to she in that case uses the energy of transmutation. She chooses positivity. She chooses to dream. She chooses to she's experiencing what she's experiencing, but she's not giving into it. She's not giving up, you know? So this is kind of the energy I'm getting here. And then it leads to that abundance, because there's this divine intervention that comes in and opens up these portals or these gateways to miracles that are going to help you to see the opportunities that you truly have, even when something maybe felt impossible. Like for Cinderella, going to the ball felt impossible, let alone marrying the prince. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case here, but there's an archetype to that story that I'm seeing in the energy of this reading. And so there is an opportunity that could feel quite miraculous, or that could feel a little bit out of the blue, that when given the opportunity, it would be helpful if you can trust your intuition and to pursue that, to go with the fluidity of where that opportunity is truly leading you. Because it's the universe, like they're showing me, corralling you. It's like it's corralling you like the land corrals a river. And the river flows through the land with the path of least resistance. And in this case, the path of least resistance is going to be the one that feels the most aligned, that feels the most abundant, that reduces some of the load or the burden or the resistance or conflict, and where you feel rejuvenated. That's the energy that I'm getting. You feel rejuvenated. You're not operating from ego. You're operating from spirit. You're operating from inspiration. And letting go, or like kind of transiting right by those people who maybe aren't capable of operating like that, or just not letting them affect you. They're showing me somebody throwing stones into a river. It's kind of like, don't let somebody throw stones into your river and disrupt the flow. Actually, you know what? They're showing me the difference between throwing stones into a lake and throwing stones into a river. If you throw stones into a placid lake that's all, serene on the surface, it creates these ripples and it has that effect. But if you throw it into a river, the water's already moving. It doesn't really even make a dent. It doesn't really have an effect. So I think this is where the whole energy of persistence and flow comes in. But it's interesting that they've given us symbolism of 3 different water structures. The river, which flows freely, the lake that's kind of just sits there, and the dam, which is a man-made structure that holds water back. So there's multiple different like encoded symbolic messages within these different representations of water. And I think that's what's going to be the most helpful to explore, because if you can unpack what that metaphor or what that symbolism is trying to teach you, you're going to get some kind of clarity here with the revelation. Yeah, that revelation is going to help you see what you need to create that balance within yourself, or to choose what kind of fluidity or what kind of structure is going to be best suited for the state of being that you are in now, or that you're moving into. Yeah. So I think that's the message here, guys. I think that's what Spirit wanted to bring through. I'm getting that energy of conclusion. So that's what they wanted you to know. And I really see a massive progression. So get excited. Actually, that's a synchronicity that has been coming up all week. The word excited. It just came up in 2 client sessions that I had right before this reading, and I wrote it several times in my synchronicities journal. So get excited, guys, because there's big things happening here for you, through you, and as you transverse. I'm not sure what the word transverse has to do with this, but that came through. That could be relevant to someone if you want to look that up and see what the meaning is of it. But as you traverse through this landscape into these new opportunities, you will see the golden abundance, because that's what they're showing me now. It's like this golden light and all of these golden things. So it feels like a very blessed transition or timeline or release of whatever's going on here. All right, guys, I will leave it there. Again, I just looked up, as I said, I'll leave it there, and it was 2626. So lots of coded messaging in this reading, lots of activations to help you on your path for your greatest and highest good always. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with me today and for your patience with me. Thank you again to all of those who have booked private readings with me in support of raising funds for the Synchronicities Oracle. I have many readings to get to, which I will be filming more of today and getting those out bit by bit. So thanks for your patience with that. And if you guys are looking to book a reading with me, they are video recorded readings. They're 45 minutes long, and I send them out to you with a private link to access through your email. And you can ask a question, or it can be general. It's up to you. I will leave the link for that in the description box below. Much love, guys. Many blessings, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.